Hey yo les petits amis, je suis complètement fifou là, il se passe quelque chose de vraiment excellent. Le retour de l'agent York. Et oui, je l'attendais depuis tellement longtemps. Et il est là. Quand j'ai vu le Nintendo Direct où le jeu a été annoncé, je me suis dit mais non, ce n'est pas possible. Ce jeu a totalement bidé. C'est impossible qu'il puisse sortir. Et puis non. Finalement il est arrivé. Pour mon plus grand bonheur. Deadly Premonition 2 est là. Et ça c'est beau. Ça voilà, c'est pour ça que j'ai une vie en tant que gamer. C'est pour ça que je suis gamer. Et en plus, au-delà de ça, cette journée est parfaite. Pourquoi ? Parce que juste avant, là, à 20h, j'avais rencard avec une nana rencontrée sur Tinder. Et cette nana, elle avait pas mis de photo de son visage, mais elle avait un côté fun qui me plaisait bien. Et vous savez quoi ? Elle est super canon. Elle est super canon, elle est bien en tout point. Et donc, Céramique est heureux. Céramique n'attend qu'une chose, de la revoir. Et il va la revoir parce qu'elle veut le revoir. Et ça, c'est beau. Ça, c'est beau. Et là, donc, pour finir cette journée en toute beauté, eh ben, on va s'attaquer à ce jeu. Voilà, tel un bon verre de whisky après un coït. Nous commençons Deadly Premonition 2. Yes! Alors le jeu a été bâché par jeuxvideo.com, il s'est pris un 9 sur 20. Je pense que nous sommes face, certainement, à une notation abusive, une notation dégueulasse, comme on peut le voir parfois sur jeuxvideo.com. Comment il s'appelait ce jeu ? Ce RPG de la Xbox 360 qui s'est pris un 11 sur 20. Ridicule. Lost Odyssey, c'est ça ? Lost Odyssey qui s'était fait bâcher. J'ai l'impression qu'avec Deadly Premonition 2, on va avoir le droit à la même mascarade. Parce que Deadly Premonition 1, il s'était pris des bâches d'un certain point de vue. Et ils disent que le 2, bah voilà, il a les mêmes défauts. Mais au-delà des défauts, c'est une aventure qu'on vit. Les aventures de Francis York et de Zach. Et ça commence d'une manière aussi barrée que le 1. Un corps découpé en morceaux piégé dans la glace. Bon, le jeu est passé en seul shading. Ce qui n'est pas un mal, mais après j'ai vraiment hâte de voir à quel moment se passe le jeu, s'il se passe avant, après Deadly Premonition 1. Thompsonville, banlieue de Boston, dans le Massachusetts.
God damn it. What a way to start the new year. At this rate, I'll be dead by Easter.
Quiet down, Agent Jones. You're on the clock.
Ah ok, donc bouger le stick en avant ou en arrière, ça fait la même chose. Ah oui, ça dirige quoi qu'il arrive le personnage.
Soaking up some rays, surrounded by a harem of bikini queens, a mojito in one hand, and a seafood-slathered Havana-style pizza in the other. What did I do to deserve this? Does God hate me?
No. The Regional Bureau Chief merely issued a special order.
Bon, graphiquement, c'est du même acabit que le 1.
Don't let him take control of the conversation.
Avec le seul shading en plus pour faire un peu le cache-misère. Mais c'est pas un problème, ça va au-delà de ça, Deadly Premonition. Waouh. Donc là, on a, voilà, ils nous disent Francis Zach York. Parce que Zach, en temps normal, c'est la voix dans la tête du héros. Et ça, alors en fait, toute cette partie-là, on a déjà des scènes comme ça dans le 1 où il raconte à sa petite fille une histoire. Ok, consommation de stupéfiants. Sa balafre est plus grande qu'avant parce qu'avant elle ne faisait que, elle n'allait que jusqu'à l'arcade.
You have questions for us.
Oui, voilà, il a fait paix avec lui-même et maintenant il y a Francis et Zach dans la même.
That's why you're here, isn't it?
Francis Zach Morgan. Pourquoi Morgan et pas York? Pourquoi Morgan et pas York? Est-ce que je me plante complètement? Est-ce que je suis un gros sac à merde? Francis York. Ah non, c'est Francis York Morgan. Voilà, c'était ça. C'est Francis York Morgan. Et en fait, voilà, York, c'est son deuxième prénom. Autant pour moi. Et c'est ça. Et en fait, Zach, c'est son autre personnalité. Je ne sais plus trop d'où elle vient, sa personnalité de... Et oui, c'est l'agent Morgan. C'est-à-dire que le jeu, je l'ai fait sous toutes ses coutures, mais voilà, j'ai toujours pas cerné le nom du gars. C'est affligeant.
Mr. Morgan, before we question you, allow me to first read you your rights. Anything you say may be used against you in a court of law. Please keep that in mind as you speak. Do we have permission to film this?
Alia Davis.
Hmm? Don't worry, my fairy. They're free to do whatever they like.
Something wrong, Mr. Morgan? I'm FBI Special Agent Aaliyah Davis, and this is
Simon Jones, an analyst from the Boston branch. He's been monitoring us for years now.
Oh, hi.
seriously.
A Southern belle and a lonesome loser who can't catch a break. Quite the uncanny duo.
Ça scintille, ça scintille.
You'd be the perfect stars for the latest video game. Isn't that right, my fairy? How many years has it been since someone came to chat with us? Oh, but don't ask me about my fairy. That's a private matter.
It's hard to tell what he's thinking, but my eyes can't be deceived. If he's hiding something, it'll come out in his face.
Ok, donc il y a des détails comme ça.
Excuse me, Mr. Morgan. But would you please refrain from consuming that while we speak? I'm talking about... Yes, that.
You don't need to worry about us. Don't get in our way, and we won't get in yours.
Unfortunately, questioning doesn't work like that. Our data needs to be consistent. Now please, put out that stinking indulgence right this minute.
Elle a raison, ça pue vraiment la merde ce truc.
What? If we say no?
Then I'll put it out myself. Using force.
Whoa, whoa, Aaliyah! This is Morgan's house. Besides, it's legal in Massachusetts for individuals to consume cannabis in the comfort of their own
C'est
homes.
vraiment le truc incroyable aux États-Unis, cette différence entre les
And
États.
I mean, come on.
It's medicinal.
Exactly.
Alors, l'utilisation du troisième œil permet de déceler les éléments clés. Lors de votre progression dans le jeu, maintenez à l'appuyer. Alors, il faut appuyer sur L. Alors, excusez-moi, hein, sur la... Alors, d'abord, je vais examiner l'impassibilité de Zach.
Hey, Belle. Why are you dressed so handsomely?
What are you talking about?
The thick black accessory wrapped around your neck. That's a male necktie. The color black represents confidence and interest in the self. And your decision to wear a male tie symbolizes your declaration of war against a predominantly male society.
Ah ça y est, c'est du pro-LGBT ce jeu maintenant.
It's a psychological
C'est un social justice warrior.
to hide the weakness that dwells deep within your psyche.
Je plaisante, bien sûr.
We admire your bravery.
I thought you retired from profiling.
Bullseye, huh? You're an easy one to read.
In order to think with society, a man must first gouge out his eyes and cut off his ears. Don't judge a book by its cover. For someone who's supposed to have been one of our best, you've got an awful eye for people. Or did all that smoke and kill all your little gray cells?
Okay, Aaliyah, that's enough. She's smart, but she's also more of a shrew than she lets on.
Non, non, je retire tout ce que j'ai dit.
Agent Jones, that's sexual harassment.
C'est marrant, il fait une blague
So, Belle,
sur les ragnagnas.
does that barrier of yours also protect you from violent criminals?
He's more dangerous than I thought. I can't read him. I'll just have to assault him head on with questions then. First, I'll try using the files on the table to shake him up.
Alors si j'appuie... Ok, donc on va regarder. le regard vide de Zach.
Mr. Morgan, may I ask you a question purely out of curiosity? If it makes you uncomfortable, just let me know. And I'll retract it.
Belle, what's wrong? You sure put a lot of effort into that approach.
It's a question about death.
About this body?
Are you afraid of what's coming?
Think carefully about why we're smoking this, then ask us again. Honestly, we're not afraid. Rather, we find it intriguing.
Intriguing.
Belle, have you ever been to the Grand Canyon in winter?
No.
In the dead of winter, the Grand Canyon is terribly cold. Colder than you could imagine. The cold that no photograph could ever express. The sun. Powerless. And the temperature drops below zero. Right in the middle of the day.
Meaning?
Meaning, you can't really understand something until you experience it for yourself. If you want to learn more about us, you need to gain more experience. Belle.
Ok, donc maintenant... Alors, qu'est-ce qui se passe si je fais regarder...
An ornate antique chessboard. Looks like he stopped halfway through the game. But who was playing with him? That chessboard looks rather old. And you can't even buy those ivory pieces anymore.
Right. They were banned by the CITES Treaty.
That was made in France in the 1900s. We know it's in bad taste, but the weight of the ivory just feels so good in our hands.
You play chess alone?
Is that a crime?
No. But it's a hard game to enjoy when you're all by yourself.
He's probably just replicating famous games. Or trying to solve problems from a chess workbook. Right, Morgan? I may not look it, but I'm actually a bit of a chess nut myself. When I was in school, I used to pore over every issue of Chess Life, the magazine published by the U.S. Chess Federation.
S'en bat les couilles, frère.
Well, unfortunately, your guess is completely wrong, Agent Jones. He isn't replicating a famous game, nor is he solving workbook problems. There isn't a single chess book to be found in this apartment. And I didn't find any chess-related websites in his internet history.
Ah bah, elle a déjà fouillé
He
son
was
ordi.
simply playing chess. All
So, what's wrong with that, Belle?
I don't understand it. How could a single human being seriously play as both sides?
You just publicly confessed to stealing personal data. Seems like that's a much bigger problem.
Oh no, everything was done in a perfectly legal manner. We simply happened to intercept a handful of data being sent out from an unknown origin.
Ooh, now she's really trying to scare us. Did you hear that, my fairy? Serious nightmare fuel.
Mais voilà. La faire le carré, on va regarder ce que
These
c'est.
files are from the case that took place just outside of New Orleans in 2005. The agent who handled the case was Francis Zach Morgan. And now he's sitting right in front of me.
Alors, je me permets juste de regarder. Alors, les Premonition 1 Story. Est-ce qu'ils vont me donner une date? Excusez-moi juste un instant. Mais c'est quoi ce délire? Il y a un site Deadly Premonition. Où le truc c'est un peu de savoir peut être dangereux. C'est quoi ce délire de ce site? deadlypremonition.com. Les avantages d'un mixeur plongeant, d'un mixeur debout. What the fuck? Et il n'y a que 2 pages sur le site. Uncategorize. Ils t'apprennent à gérer le RAID 5 en informatique. What the fuck ce site? Je suis sûr qu'il doit y avoir des infos. Site officiel de Red Seed. Je me permets juste pour savoir, parce que là on a l'affaire du carré qui est en 2005. Et le site de Marvelous, c'est en anglais, bref. Bon, tant pis, on vérifiera ça plus tard. Je me rappelle plus en quelle année avait lieu le premier jeu. Voilà, bon.
Do you remember the homicides that took place in Le Carré, Louisiana in 2005?
We solved that case.
Your report states the following. By coincidence, you encountered a serious incident in a town you visited while on vacation. You then decided to steal the right to investigate from the local law enforcement and took over the case. After several more homicides, you managed to apprehend the perpetrator.
Yes. Yes. Yes, that's exactly what happened. We stole the right to investigate from them, just as...
It all started when the body of a 16-year-old girl was discovered. You arrived in Le Carré immediately after that, didn't you?
We just can't seem to keep ourselves away from dead girls.
Did you really visit that town just to take a vacation?
We don't know. If you already have the report, then we suggest you read it, Belle. Either way, that case is closed.
Closed. You sure about that? Don't you think this puzzle is still missing some crucial pieces?
Come on. No.
They found Lise Clarkson's body. It was hidden deep within the Clarkson Food Delivery Services cold storage warehouse.
After 14 years, we finally discovered the body of the very first victim. Do you know what this means?
Ok, donc là on est en 2019.
That's why we're here.
En 2020.
The first victim in the case he solved, Lise Clarkson. This is a photograph of what she looks like now. How will he react when he sees it?
Alors si je fais ça, est-ce que j'ai un truc en particulier? Il n'y a rien à voir en particulier, hein.
We're pleased that her body turned up. Deeply pleased.
You claim to have closed this case, but now a lost body suddenly surfaced. Aren't you curious about the details?
Body or not, we already solved that case. Lisa's body can't change anything now. And it certainly has nothing to do with us.
I suspect the body was stored there rather than abandoned, due to the unnatural state it was found in. She was found frozen in a storage unit. Therefore, she looks exactly the same as she did when she disappeared. In fact, she's in such good condition that we can even determine the murder weapon and cause of death.
Well, good for you.
Even stranger is how unbelievably beautiful she looks. At first glance, few would guess she was a murder victim at all. She looks more like a piece of art, or a mythological figure from a painting.
This keeps getting better and better.
Better and better?
Isn't that right, my fairy? A corpse as beautiful as a goddess. Sounds just like our story. Yes. Yes.
That went okay. Now I'm sure that Morgan's hiding something. I may be able to get what I want if we go deeper into the documents.
Ok, donc en fait, il faut approfondir l'affaire.
Isn't there someone else you should have talked to? Before coming to us. Such as...
We were unable to reach Patricia Clarkson. You look surprised. I thought you already knew. After all, you visited Louisiana last week. We
Quoi?
assumed you met with her during your time there.
Le gars, il est à moitié défoncé, mais il est allé en Louisiane.
We haven't been to Louisiana. Not in 14 years.
Is that so?
We've been right here in our apartment this entire time. That man is our witness. Aren't you, Simon?
He's right. He didn't even take a single step outside on Christmas Eve. Which means that I didn't get to either.
Are you positive about that? I took the liberty of checking some airline records. Last Friday, the name Billy Bishop was listed on a morning flight out of Boston.
Billy Bishop.
This is the fake name you used to use as an agent, isn't it?
A mere coincidence.
Yet that's not all. That evening on the same day, a man with a large scar on his forehead allegedly purchased an '89 Cadillac from a small used car lot in Le Carré. He reportedly said he wanted something old, big, and strong. The owner of the car lot felt it was a strange order, so it stuck in his mind.
Our world is filled with mysteries. And they always have the most bizarre timing.
À qui le dis-tu?
Incidentally, on the following day, an identical Cadillac was taken to a scrapyard in Trenton, New Jersey.
Mhm.
You can find that type of car anywhere. Isn't that right, my fairy?
You may be wondering why we decided to unearth all these old files.
Everything happens for a reason.
The moment Lise Clarkson's body was found, we did the best we could to start our own local investigation. But there wasn't much we could actually investigate due to the damage caused by the hurricane.
Then we assume you also questioned everyone who worked in the warehouse.
Of course. We questioned all the Clarkson Food Delivery Services employees who staff the warehouse and its owner. But we still have yet to obtain any key testimonies.
Par for the course with a 14-year-old case, if you ask me.
Not to mention how bad the timing was. Most of the employees were on vacation.
So, you gave up on the investigation and came to see us instead. Remember what happened, my fairy? That warehouse. That man. So incoherent. Such pain.
Hey, are you talking about the guy who managed the vault where Lisa's body was found? Yeah, I think he started working there in 2005. Remember, Aaliyah? You said he was a pain to deal with, too.
Large man, yes? No need to answer. If I'm sure you've already put him under surveillance. Textbook FBI protocol.
Alors le début est très verbeux, mais
Morgan's right. Everything happens for a reason.
pour ma part, je le trouve intéressant.
Even this messy room. There must be a reason for it. Especially when it comes to those strangely tidy spots. They're practically begging me to question them.
Je sais pas à quoi ça sert le troisième œil parce que
A stinking indulgence. And a massive DVD collection. You must live a very comfortable life.
We're retired, remember?
Retired in your 40s.
la quarantaine est à la retraite. York a 40 balais.
But who doesn't love movies, Belle?
I'm not a fan.
C'est nul de pas être très fan de films quand même.
Oh, that won't do. You should dedicate all the free time you have to watching movies. It's practically an unwritten law. Films guide us.
C'est pas faux.
Films are filled with every important life lesson there is.
Je suis aussi d'accord avec ça.
Is that so?
Hé, Rainbow. Rainbow, viens coucher. Viens là. Fais coucher. Fais coucher, Rainbow. Rainbow. Pardon, mon chien. Rainbow. Rainbow. Coucher. 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 Tu obéis, coucher. C'est bien mon chien. C'est bien mon pépère. Il me fait la fête. Oui, t'es beau. Oui, t'es beau.
For example,
Ah, un petit John Carpenter. Invasion Los Angeles, par exemple.
1988, directed by John Carpenter.
Ouais.
That film taught us a valuable lesson. Always put on your sunglasses before a film.
En fait, dans ce film Invasion Los Angeles, le héros bouscule un gars qui a des paires de lunettes et il se retrouve à mettre une paire de lunettes et découvre que le monde est envahi par des extraterrestres et que toutes les publicités qu'il voit, en fait, derrière, sont des messages pour dire obéis, consomme, dépense ton argent. Et les extraterrestres sont souvent les grands patrons des multinationales. Donc il va lutter contre ça.
You know, you got a
Et
point.
surtout, il y a une scène de baston culte entre... Parce que le héros est interprété par un catcheur... je sais plus qui est le catcheur. Et par un autre acteur américain assez connu pour la bagarre.
Movies teach us about everything we need to know. I learned about the right way to eat frozen pizza from Cobra. It's one of Stallone's
Ouais.
best films.
Je me rappelle pas de comment il fait cuire ses pizzas, mais Cobra, oui, mais là, c'est toute une
Before
époque.
that,
Hein.
I wouldn't be caught dead trying to eat frozen pizza.
Mais,
I thought it wasn't fit for human consumption.
coucher. Coucher. C'est bien.
But that film changed my life.
Oh, je le remate, Cobra, pour comprendre cette... Mais, tu te couches? Nom de Dieu. Je sais que maman va
That has
rentrer, donc faut
nothing
pas faire
to
de
do
bruit.
with the film. You're just talking about pizza.
Voilà. Interrogé sur les poches de
Do you
perfusion.
like fresh vegetable juice?
Why would you think that?
There's a juicer in your sink that hasn't been washed yet. And do I smell the faint fragrance of baked beans? You didn't use much salt, did you?
Elle a le nez fin.
What are you implying?
You just told me that you find impending death to be intriguing. That confused me.
Hé Rainbow, coucher. Je sais que t'entends du bruit. Coucher. Fais le chien sage. Coucher. Coucher. Oui, c'est bien.
When I look around
Voilà,
your
c'est maman.
room,
Eh oh. Reste là. Reste là.
all I can see are the many ways in which you're resisting death. Poly MVA treatment, highly concentrated vitamin C IVs, fresh vegetable juice, vegetable protein without salt, gallons of vitamin D milk for fat and calcium.
The ambivalence, yes.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Oh. Mais oui, elle est rentrée.
What?
Attends.
Two contradictory emotions, mixing, coexisting.
Excusez-moi un
together.
instant, je vais le libérer, le pépère. Ok, désolé. Le sentiment contradictoire qui s'entremêle, qui
An
coexiste.
adult, mature mind is never satisfied with only one response. It's common sense. Isn't that right, my fairy?
Donc là, il est en train de nous justifier la schizophrénie comme étant quelque chose de bien.
Mr. Morgan. I found several spots in this room that look strangely clean. Did you tidy up a bit because you knew we were coming?
Those are sanctuaries.
Sanctuaries.
They've existed from the start.
Sanctuaries.
That's right. Sacred places.
C'est la définition de sanctuaire.
Hovels for pure souls, if you will.
Were there originally objects in those hovels? Something you didn't want us to see.
The soul's still there.
C'est étrange. Alors vous avez 2 fois le son du bureau. Est-ce que ça s'entremêle pas et ça ne pose pas de problème? Parce que là en fait vous avez le son du jeu faible, le son du jeu un peu plus fort en même temps. Et hop. Je fais juste ça, non? Non, non, ça sert à rien que je fasse ça. Mais j'ai jamais tilté que ça posait problème. Bon bref, on va garder comme ça.
We haven't touched a thing. But we know you can't see anything. Hey, Simon, don't touch the sanctuary.
Sorry.
That's a sanctuary. Don't ever touch it again. You've been watching us for 4.5 years, and you couldn't even figure that much out?
My bad. It's my first time actually coming inside, you know.
You're earning far more than you deserve, then. What were you doing all day in that black Suburban? We thought wiretapping was your specialty. Don't tell me. Crossword puzzles. What do you think, my fairy? 4.5 years. All that time. What does he have to show for it?
Mais où la traduction?
Crossword puzzles? No way. Come on, I thought you knew. I'm a Sudoku guy.
Agent Jones.
Oh, right.
He's completely taken control of the conversation. At this rate, we'll never get anywhere. I need to press him some more.
Alors, est-ce que là, si je fais ça... Elle me dit que je peux pas l'utiliser. Bon, soit.
Agent Jones? Did you find the files?
Ah, c'est... Voilà, Greenval, c'est l'affaire de Deadly Premonition 1.
Mr. Morgan, do you recognize these files?
Whoa! Ow!
We told you. That's a sanctuary.
Let him go! Assaulting an FBI agent is an obstruction of justice.
We told you. Go. Ah!
Stay back! Stay back! Sanctuary! Down! Surrounded! Ah! 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 Yeah.
Mr. Morgan? I cut my finger with that can opener this morning. I thought I stopped the bleeding, but it seeped through. How could I be so stupid?
Et oui, du rouge. Il ne supporte pas le rouge. Est-ce que ce sont les conséquences de l'affaire
Everything should be fine now.
de Greenval? Parce que c'était avec les Red Seed et les graines rouges.
I'm sorry for being so careless. I made sure to read through your file and learn about your condition. The color red. Such an unusual thing to fear. Please, accept my deepest apologies.
I'm sorry too, Morgan. I don't know what I was thinking. I'll never touch one of your sanctuaries ever again. And no more red, either.
Don't ever touch one. I told them not to. Why would they do that? Make them go away. Sanctuaries. Don't touch. Stay away.
Now, may we return to our discussion?
Don't worry. I won't let them touch it again. I'll keep them away from us.
Strangely enough, this man has a fear of the color red. And I believe that fear is
Voilà,
connected
c'est
to
bien
the
lié à l'affaire de
Greenvale case.
Greenval. Ah, là, je peux tourner la tête et il y a plein d'autres trucs à observer. Donc, on va commencer par la grande déchiqueteuse.
This is a very large shredder. Is there something you don't want people finding out about?
Good question. But we never know when some curious civil servants may come and sift through our trash now, do we?
You're already retired. What are you so worried about?
It's just a simple habit. From back when we were still on duty. Didn't they bang that into your head when you were up in Quantico? Some habits are hard to break, no matter how hard you try.
L'étagère
Could you
propre, il y a
tell me
encore un
what
sanctuaire.
exactly the word sanctuary means to you?
Sanctuaries are sanctuaries. Nothing more and nothing less.
That doesn't explain anything.
Why do you wish to know?
Just curious.
Belle. You're a much ruder person.
Porte le même pyjama que dans
than you
Premonition
seem to
1.
be. Don't you agree, my fairy? What do our sanctuaries have to do with the investigation? If you're out of questions, then how about just going home?
Hey, mind if I jump in here?
What is it, Simon? We hope you've got a real question for us.
Well, actually, I'm also a little curious myself. No one's supposed to touch any sanctuary, right?
That's what we said.
What about you, though? You can't even touch them yourself? Are there any extenuating circumstances?
What are you getting at?
I mean, I doubt if any of this really matters, but if no one can touch the sanctuaries, then how do you clean them?
suis à court, je l'ai utilisé pour rien.
Mr. Morgan, I'd like to ask you some questions about this case now.
We don't want to remember that town.
I'm sorry, but there's no way around this.
Tu m'étonnes?
I remember hearing about this case on the news when I was still a student. A high school girl named Anna Graham was murdered and the FBI stepped in to take over the case. I also remember it becoming a sprawled investigation due to evidence found in the victim's throat. Is that correct? After that case, you went on sick leave for 2 years.
Ok, donc là on va
And
savoir.
when you returned, you requested to be switched over to desk work. What happened?
That's a private matter. None of your business, Bill.
Were you traumatized? It's a common problem with prolific agents such as yourself.
Donc en fait, cette affaire-là, de 2005, date d'avant l'affaire de Deadly Premonition 1. Du fait qu'il était encore en service, à se déplacer sur les endroits. Mais non, il était en vacances. Ah là là.
But there's another possibility that may make more sense. Perhaps you simply finished making preparations.
What are you getting at?
Ah, il fait une de ces chaleurs. Excusez-moi, je vais couper le micro quelques instants. Voilà, c'était, je disais, c'était pour éviter que les moustiques entrent dans la pièce. Voilà. Ça va aller beaucoup mieux comme ça. Ce qui est bien, c'est que vous voyez encore à travers la baie vitrée.
Thinking too much about something will always turn it into a problem. The Greenvale case. Don't you think it resembles the Luke Carre case?
Read the report. We have nothing else to say.
I just need one more push. One more thing that can summon up the past.
Alors, est-ce que je peux avoir des infos si je fais donc regarder.
Picture of a leaf. This isn't just a picture of any leaf. The belief in truth begins with the doubt of all truths in which one has previously believed. It's time to get down to business. The silver clock in that trash pile. Is that an H5?
That's right. John Harrison's fifth chronometer, completed in 1770. After many years, he completed it and presented it to the Board of Longitude. In order, it's only a replica, of course.
You like clocks?
Clocks are amazing. Prime fruit of the human race's intellect. We took the invisible idea of time and manifested it in
Il a une bonne réflexion, hein.
Yeah, I love clocks too. Absolutely fascinating.
I disagree.
Oh? Why?
Time is valuable precisely because it can't be seen. Yet nowadays people can't tell what time it is unless it's measured in numbers. Talk about idiocy. I don't mean to side with the Board of Longitude, but remember, humans used to cross oceans with the stars alone. We have our eyes to read moon charts and study the sky. We don't need clocks.
What if it's cloudy or stormy?
All you need is courage and a love for adventure.
Hear that, my fairy? Courage and a love for adventure? Come on, Belle. Surely you know how many lives have been claimed by your pals' courage and adventure.
Hey, hold on a second here. That board of longitude thing. What the heck is that? I mean, I've heard of it before. I'm an FBI analyst, remember?
I'm an FBI agent.
I just sort of can't remember it right now. I know what it is, really. I'm telling the truth. Come on, Aaliyah, back me up here. Aaliyah?
That's royal jelly.
Huh?
You were staring at the jar, weren't you? Do you find it strange that there's honeycomb inside? We wanted to harvest royal jelly in its most natural state. The queen's main food source, created from the worker bee's secretions. It's a perfect food, filled with power, meant to fuel the birth of the next queen.
Il a pas l'air d'avoir très envie de nourrir York, hein.
We too can acquire that
Même
power.
Morgan.
Incidentally, did you know that all the worker bees are female?
No.
Yes, they didn't teach you that at Quantico. Male bees are only born to inseminate. And they're born from unfertilized eggs to boot. They have short lives and don't even get stingers. Sort of feels like a glimpse into the future of our society, wouldn't you agree? Women are gifted with the power to conceive, give birth, and nourish their children. But men are consumed with the job of providing women with the chance to do so. If women no longer had to rely on men for the seeds of life, they would soon cease to desire them, we believe. Be careful, Simon.
Huh? Of what?
Your Belle's already stolen the reins from you.
Hop, il reste plus que la photo d'un
Mr.
arbre.
Morgan, please look at this.
What did we just say? We don't want to remember Greenvale.
This isn't a photo from Greenvale. Look closely at it. Former Special Agent Francis Zach Morgan. This photograph predates Greenvale. It's from the Le Carré case you worked on in 2005.
Voilà, donc en fait l'affaire Greenvale se passe après l'affaire Le Carré. Donc on est bien dans un préquel au niveau de l'affaire.
Red tree. Red tree.
Yes, a red tree. Greenvale wasn't the first place you saw one of these. The Greenvale case and the Lise Clarkson murder case, they're connected by these red trees, aren't they?
Red trees.
Parce que c'était quand même
Growing.
une histoire d'une secte satanique, hein, le...
Seeds. Trees.
Answer me. What are these trees?
Bah, en fait c'était une légende où il fallait nourrir un... Il fallait faire des sacrifices.
Red trees.
Le tueur à la parka...
Figured it out. Yes. Smarter than we thought.
I want the truth. Tell me everything you know.
The red trees. You really did your homework. Well done, Elle. You're good. Damn good.
Are you ready to talk now? I want to know what went down in Le Carré in 2005.
Fine. We'll tell
Voilà, ça va démarrer.
We'll tell you what happened in that town. Yes. It was that red tree. That red tree ruined my life. It was a sultry summer day. Sun comes down hard on you in the south, like a torrential downpour of demonic whispers. It all started back in that sweltering summer. We still had our best friend with us back then. The other
Mon autre
me,
moi. Ouais, donc York.
my better half.
York. Première mise en bouche, franchement, je suis hypé. Oh, et le générique est stylé.
Never a choice. When somebody needs you, you can't turn away. You're their only lifeline, just a hero, a bullet for hire, working alone. Always a voice, a cry in the darkness, an echo of pain that's been long forgotten, but it haunts me, my destiny to be alone. There's a time when you see life for what it's gotta be. You should know they'll destroy you, or cultivate to keep searching, walk alone.
C'était stylé, hein. Ça vaut un Snake Eater quand même. Bon, désolé hein, pour le bruit, si vous entendez des
Ça.
bruits de voiture, hein, c'est parce que la baie vitrée est ouverte. Voilà, là on a Francis York qui parle avec Zach. Et Zach, tout le long du jeu, c'est supposé être nous.
Can you hear me, Zach?
Parce qu'on va avoir le même principe d'appuyer, répondre, voilà.
There you are, Zach. Sleeping
Tout le
again?
long du 1, on a l'impression qu'il parle à un associé dans son oreillette et c'est nous l'associé. Et en fait, on découvre vraiment qu'il n'a pas d'oreillette et qu'il est... Et que tout ça, c'est dans sa tête.
Rise and shine. It's time for us to head back out into the chaos.
Mais à la fin de Deadly Premonition, voilà, ça, il devient Francis Zach Morgan.
Isn't that right? Zach?
A blessing in disguise. Bon, graphiquement, vraiment, hein, ça, c'est très loin de péter trois pattes à un canard, hein, vraiment. Hein. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'il voit dans son café?
Zach, it looks like she wants us to join her for breakfast. Perhaps this town's finally starting to warm up to us.
Non, là, il boit du thé. Il boit du thé, alors qu'en fait, en temps normal, il boit que du café et il dit il va venir dans le café.
Look at that, Zach. She's welcoming us with open arms. She's even willing to share that tasty morsel with us. What an honor.
Hurry up and chow down, mister. Unless you like your breakfast stale.
What an amazing place. I've been on top of the moon since the moment I got here. And the name of this wonderful town, Licare. Sounds like French to me. But what does it mean?
I'm the chef, David. If you want to know about the town, you'd better ask the concierge. Only amateur chefs flap their gums about stuff that ain't food related.
Did you hear that, Zach? He's a true professional.
You say something, mister?
No, not to you. I was just talking to Zach.
Zach?
Please don't ask me about Zach. It's a private matter.
If you say so, still. Never thought the FBI would ever come out to a little old town like ours.
I do work for the FBI, but I didn't come here for an investigation. I just happened to stop by on my way to New Orleans.
Never thought there'd be a murder out here either. And it was a 16-year-old kid. Now I tell you, this country's seen better days. What you reckon, mister?
Zach, he's definitely a professional, but it seems like he's also a bit lonesome. That's good. Ambivalence exists everywhere.
Folks say the killer used an axe. Hell of an old-fashioned choice if you ask me.
Actually, Chef David, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a few questions about the incident.
Well, shoot. I ain't the one you ought to be asking, Mr. FBI. I only heard what I heard. But seeing as you're fixing to grill me, I can tell you what I know.
Please do. I appreciate it.
Alors, la
You said the victim was a 16-year-old. Did you know her?
Well, sure. I reckon the whole town did.
Meaning?
She's Lise Clarkson, the little grandbaby of the Clarkson
Donc on a
family.
passé pratiquement 1 heure à écouter du dialogue. Hein.
The Clarkson family?
That's right. You ain't seen they sign on your way in here? The one above that huge cold storage complex. Should have had a dragonfly on it. Anyway, that's the Clarkson family seat. They own most of the land around here, from the sugar plantations right down to the food processing plant. Yeah, I reckon they got a stake in just about everything. They even own the water tower on the edge of town, you know. They're the ones who built up this town, and they still support it.
What do you know about the Clarkson's house?
Now, I ain't got nothing bad to say, But I'm gonna talk straight to you. You best steer clear of that place. That family ain't just some gang. They're a whole different kind of beast. They folks with real power. Remnants of the good old boys who shaped America in the early days. Especially the head of the family, P.J. Clarkson. He's the kind of monster who goes around eating other monsters. And I'm sure he's on edge now with his granddaughter getting murdered and all. So don't go barging in with that shiny FBI badge of yours and think you'll be safe for nothing. Things are different down here. So if you plan on sticking around, you best remember that.
I see. I'll keep that in mind.
Alors, la police
Is
locale.
the local law enforcement investigating the case?
Shoot, mister, what you think? Now, I told you this ain't no city. We in the bonafide boondocks here. They got to know how to break up fights and keep folks from killing each other when they piss off. They sit down and talk it out with you heart to heart. And when that don't work, they just beat your ass. That's the deep south for you. This murder ain't like that, though. A little kid got killed. A weird way. Like something on a TV show. The sheriff's department ain't never seen nothing like this.
Live and Let Die, Angel Heart, and The Pelican Brief. Right? 9 out of 10 people will name those titles when you ask them to think of a film set in New Orleans. They're all excellent movies, but to me they lack realism. Due to my line of work, I have a tendency to think deeply about what feels real and what doesn't.
What's your point?
Cat People. That's my point. Cat People. 1982, directed by Paul Schrader. The crowning achievement of Nastasia Kinski, the ultimate muse.
Et le pire, c'est qu'à chaque fois, les références qu'ils font sont réalistes.
The most vital element of that movie is the reality it depicts. Leopards who turn into humans have intercourse with humans and turn back into leopards. Then they can only turn back into humans again if they mutilate their lovers. I was awestruck by the sheer reality of it all. Understand? I'm talking about hyper-realism. After watching it, I felt like I just had to experience the world of cat people for myself. That's why I decided to visit New Orleans.
Okay.
Another vital element of cat people is the presence of Malcolm McDowell. Malcolm McDowell from Blue Thunder. Talk about a masterpiece. Listen carefully, David. Only an amateur would call A Clockwork Orange his best movie. His best movies are Cat People and Blue Thunder.
Malcolm McDowell, je l'ai vu dans quoi? Malcolm McDowell, il joue pas dans un Star Trek? Dans sa filmographie, il y a quoi? Oui, il joue dans un Star Trek. Je l'ai vu dans un Star Trek. Star Trek Generation, vous voyez, voilà. Il fait un extraterrestre qui fout la merde. Il joue dans Halloween 2007. Dans Evil & Co. Il joue dans Maman, la maison et en T 2012. C'est un Home Alone spécial Noël. Un moment j'ai raté l'avion en gros. Et donc, il est où? Il est où son film sur le bayou? Il joue dans Les Visiteurs en Amérique, putain, comme quoi, hein, la carrière. Hein. Un lancer de dés. Il joue dans The Artist aussi. Il joue dans Silent Hill Revelation 3D. Les tigres du ciel. Ça, il en a parlé. Non, c'est tonnerre de feu. Voilà, tonnerre de feu. Truc avec des hélicoptères. Et la féline de 1982, en effet. Et ouais. C'est une carrière sur un lancer de dés. Hein. C'est vraiment ça.
Period. You need to remember this, because it's the truth.
Whatever you say, mister. So, what's your point again?
Never mind, don't worry about it. I already covered all the important parts.
Et je sens que je vais me mater la féline et tonnerre de feu.
When you say it was like something from a TV show, what
Ah
exactly
non, mais
do
c'est
you mean?
bon, ça suffit là dehors.
Hey, mister. Why do you look so excited, huh? Like a kid asking grandma to read him a fairy tale.
I just can't seem to keep myself away from young women who died in bizarre ways.
Well, I ain't seen it with my own eyes. But folks say they found the body hanging under a bridge on the bayou. And under that bridge, there was some kind of altar.
An altar?
Like something they use in black magic. Something horrible.
Voodoo?
Nah. Wasn't nothing like that. Just a weird altar.
That's all?
Oh, and the body was all cut up in pieces. Scattered around the altar like.
So she was sacrificed.
That's what the fella who discovered her said, yeah.
Bingo, Zach. This case has got our names all over it.
By the way, Mr. FBI, I ain't seen the car in the parking lot. How'd you get all the way out here, huh? Don't tell me you walked.
Well, that's a very good question. Chef David, you've got a sharp eye. It's true that I didn't park my car in your parking lot. Do you know why?
Can't say I do.
Because it was stolen.
Huh? But you with the FBI, right?
Even FBI cars can be stolen. It could happen after you park your car on the side of the road and go off to do some legwork. When you're eating lunch, when you're watching a movie, when you're asleep at night. When you're buying cigarettes at the local supermarket. Your car can be stolen anywhere. That's precisely what it means to be an FBI agent.
I'm a FBI agent. Boop, boop, boop.
In my case, my car was stolen while I was on my way down here. But no need to worry. I already reported it to the local authorities. And I've also already acquired another mode of transportation.
C'est là qu'ils vont nous claquer le skateboard.
Want to hear the details?
Not really. But I'll listen if you want me to.
Then please do. After I finished my work in Houston, I flew to New Orleans. Then, I rented a car at the airport. Whenever I visit the West Coast, I always rent a convertible. Especially in California. But now I'm in hot and sticky Louisiana. So, I decided on a brand new hybrid car with a fully equipped air conditioning system.
A hybrid car.
Oh yes, they're marvelous. Vehicles that utterly defy everything you think you know about cars.
T'as vraiment les pensées de l'auteur qui passent à travers, quoi.
Now, in the year 2005, it feels like we've finally entered the 21st century. Stomp down on the gas all you want. The engine won't make a sound.
It's silent?
At first, I felt like the landscape was moving past me on its own. Give it a few more years, and I'm sure we'll start
Je
seeing
suis sûr
cars
que
that run
l'auteur
purely on electricity.
L'auteur de cette œuvre a une voiture électrique.
Who knows? In a decade or so, electric sports cars may end up lining the parking lots of Silicon Valley. I can see it now. It's the world of the
Ah,
Last
dans
Starfighter.
Starfighter. The Last Starfighter, c'est ça?
1984, directed by Nick Castle.
Alors attendez, on vérifie. Starfighter Star Wars, c'est ça, c'est bien The Last Starfighter chez nous en France. En France, pourquoi ils nous l'ont appelé The Last Starfighter? 1984, Nick Castle, ouais, voilà. Et ça je l'ai en Blu-ray, ce film. Un gamin qui joue aux jeux vidéo, qui pète les scores sur la borne d'arcade. En fait, il est recruté comme pilote parce qu'au final, c'était pas vraiment un jeu vidéo, mais un simulateur d'entraînement pour les forces spatiales de protection de la Terre. Ben, c'est des extraterrestres qui protègent l'univers, donc en fait, c'est pas que la Terre qui est protégée.
It's famous for being the first film to utilize realistic CG, but I couldn't care less about that. See, I was mesmerized.
Il y a un très
by the
bon cross
beautifully
dessus
refined mech
de Karim
designs.
Debache.
It even made me wish that I could be one of them myself. Especially the Gunstar spacecraft. No other sci-fi movie has ever had.
So, yeah, where'd your hybrid car get stolen?
Sorry, I got off topic. I noticed it was missing after I finished my lunch and walked out of the diner. Incidentally, this diner was located at the entrance to a small town just south off the I-10. I went out to get back in it, but my hybrid car was nowhere to be found. I remembered exactly where I parked it, right between a blue pickup truck and a hedgerow. But when I came back from lunch, it had completely vanished. In short, someone stole it. And in its place, they left me this.
What?
Voilà, le skateboard.
A skateboard.
A skateboard?
Yes. While I was sliding my lunch into my stomach, someone was busy replacing my brand new hybrid car with a wood. Remarkable, don't you think?
So then how did you get here?
By riding the skateboard, obviously. No, I couldn't ride the board very well at first. But by
C'est
the
à la
time I
fois
hit the 3-mile
débile.
mark, I'd more or less gotten the hang of it. By the 10-mile mark, I'd even learned to do a few tricks. It was a journey of self-discovery. Not even I knew I had this latent talent sleeping inside me.
This summer's gonna be another hot one. It's supposed to get over 95 today. Watch out you don't go getting heat stroke.
The Elise Clarkson case needs us. Don't you think so, Zach? The cat people are what guided us to New Orleans. We should be thanking Malcolm McDowell. Once we get home, let's watch Blue Thunder again. I'm already looking forward to it. Aren't you, Zach? Zach. The searing light. It's the deep south. That was a fabulous breakfast. You're the world's greatest chef.
Wait, mister. You didn't take a single bite.
Well, the tea was to die for. But I'd prefer coffee next time.
Ah, voilà.
What would a morning be without coffee?
« 1h26 de parlotte. Ah. Faut vraiment que ce soit Deadly Premonition pour que j'encaisse ça. Hein. Chez ma mère, j'ai voulu jouer à Ice Origin et il y a eu 10 minutes de parlotte, ça me saoulait déjà. Voilà. Donc maintenant, il faut que je retourne à ma chambre d'hôtel. Alors oui, on a l'impression qu'il patine. C'était la même chose dans Deadly Premonition 1. Donc on peut pas leur parler. Alors oui, ça fait vraiment bizarre au niveau de l'esthétique. Hein. C'est... Et les temps de chargement. Est-ce qu'il m'indique où est ma chambre? Ok. Alors, si je me souviens bien... Ouais, le miroir aussi était comme dans le 1, pixelisé comme dans le 1. Je pense qu'ils ont utilisé le même moteur, mais avec du cel shading par-dessus. Hein. Ils sont pas foulés plus que ça. Ah non, c'était la 203 tout au bout, voilà. Et donc... Voilà, j'ai ça. Alors, vous trouverez... Ok... Ah oui, donc voilà, on retrouve... On avait aussi une chambre rouge dans le 1. Des pansements. Oui, parce que normalement, je pense qu'il va y avoir un truc avec les tenues... Voilà, on verra ça au fur et à mesure de l'aventure. Le bébé de York. Ah ouais, il y a des trucs comme ça. Et là, il y a vraiment beaucoup plus de... Meurtre à faire tuer 30 chiens errants. 70, 120. La vache. Bon, ça va, il y en a que 60. Mais... Tiens, c'est... C'est surprenant l'importance qu'il y a dans les kills. Alors voilà, la quête principale. Pour le moment, on n'a pas de quête secondaire. Et surtout, les quêtes secondaires sont limitées dans le temps. C'est-à-dire que plus on va avancer dans l'histoire principale, et à des moments, certaines quêtes secondaires ne seront plus accessibles. Donc vraiment, je sais pas si on arrivera à le faire, hein, parce que le jeu sur le 1, je l'avais fait une fois, et après je l'ai refait en ayant le guide pour le platiner. Là, bon, il n'y a pas de platine, c'est pas problématique, mais si je veux voir toutes les subtilités du jeu... On n'a que des balles en caoutchouc. Mais ça, je pense que les balles en caoutchouc vont être utiles contre les entités qui vont apparaître. Et donc, oui, ce que je voulais dire, c'est qu'il y avait aussi une gestion de l'hygiène à avoir. C'est-à-dire qu'on avait, on avait des dialogues plus sympathiques où on pouvait dégoter plus d'informations si on était rasé, qu'on avait porté un costume, qu'on portait un costume propre. Et si on était rasé.
Chasing it all over America. But I feel like we're finally on the verge of finding something now. Don't you, Zach?
Hop. Je l'ai eu. Non, c'est faux.
I think it's about time we ordered a new briefcase. Yes, I know this one carries a lot of memories, but it's seen too much.
Ah, donc ça, ce sac-là, valeur sentimentale, on va le perdre.
And this stays from Miami. Miami. Now that was a fascinating case.
Et donc il parlait de... Alors au tout début, quand le 1 était sorti, il voulait écrire des suites à Deadly Premonition, soit en forme de roman ou de BD, et finalement ils ont réussi à pouvoir faire le jeu. Mais j'aimerais bien que les affaires de l'agent Morgan existent aussi sous d'autres formats.
Even with the help of the drugs, a feat like that still requires incredible mental fortitude. I was so impressed.
J'espère juste que le No More Heroes 3 ne sera pas aussi dégueulasse graphiquement.
Same floor his blood gushed out onto. I know, Zach, I know. Now isn't the time for a trip down memory lane.
Alors, le sein. Oui, et t'as toujours cette étape à la fin d'un chapitre où, en fait, tu trouvais différents objets tout au long de ton chapitre. Normalement, tu dois trouver 3 objets. Et en fait, tu faisais une corrélation pour des 3 objets pour avoir une sorte de vidéo de flashback qui te fait voir la scène, comment la scène du meurtre s'est passée au fur et à mesure. Au fur et à mesure du chapitre, tu complètes cette vidéo du crime.
An emergent drug that's been on the rise in 4 southern states. Personally, I think it originated right here in Louisiana. And Lise Clarkson's murder must be connected to it somehow. The 16-year-old girl who was murdered. Her body was found beneath a bridge over the bayou, along with a strange altar. The powerful man who essentially controls the town of Lucare. And he seems to be more fearsome than your average gangster. I doubt he'll be willing to cooperate with any law enforcement, Zach.
Et puis nous, on va s'arrêter là.
You know, I keep thinking about that movie we stopped to see on our way here, Zach. The Island, 2005, directed by Michael
The
Bay.
Island de Michael Bay.
For a movie being shown at a
Avec
cinema
Scarlett
complex,
Johansson
it's
et
surprisingly
Ewan
artistic.
McGregor.
An experimental setting mixed with hard-hitting drama. It was art house sci-fi. That director's going to change the history of art house films. Are you
Ouais,
following
n'accorde
me
pas
here?
trop d'importance à Michael Bay non plus. Hein.
This is another special film that's setting a new standard, just like Star Wars and Blade Runner did.
Faut pas exagérer.
This is a turning point, Zach. You may be witnessing the birth of a vital new word that will soon become a part of film history. Yes, this single movie may be responsible for creating a whole new genre several years down the line. A genre known as island movies. I sure like the sound.
Il peut se tromper
Don't you,
parfois,
Zach?
parce qu'il était pas mal, mais bon. Ok, donc voilà, j'ai des objets sur moi.
I'm very satisfied with the decorations and the size of this closet. And it's even got a security box. What else could a man ask for? It's proof that we're still safely inside the fringes of modern civilization.
Voilà. Et ici, voilà, on peut se raser. Et la douche, voilà. Mais bon, là, on est totalement propre. Donc, il n'y a pas de souci.
Hey there, chef. What's cooking?
Chef, what are you talking about, sir? I'm the concierge, David. I just heard from our chef that you wish to learn the meaning behind our town's name.
Yes, I've gathered that.
Ça aussi, voilà, c'est complètement barré, mais c'est marrant. C'est la même personne qui fait tous les rôles et elle refuse de lui répondre tant qu'il n'a pas la bonne étiquette.
A very clear, logical meaning. All names have meanings. Would you like to know what this one means?
Yes, I would.
Jolly good, sir. Then allow me to explain. Lucare means square in French.
Ah. And
That's it.
that's it?
Yes, that's it, sir.
Voilà, la
Do
ville,
take
un
a gander
lotissement
at the
carré.
town map in the lobby if it fancies you. It's beautiful, valuable, and old. I'm sure you'll understand once you see it. Now, please excuse me, sir. If you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to ask.
Mais voilà, c'est ça, quand on voit ce genre de scène, de dialogue, d'humour, hein, comment ne pas se dire que
Did you see that?
c'est
Zach?
pas un mauvais jeu, il y a une bonne
That was
volonté derrière.
clearly David.
Alors ça vaut certainement
Not a
pas un
twin,
9 sur 20
not
dès
a
les premières,
split personality.
dès les premières heures. Non, je sais pas, on va voir après le gameplay, quoi,
It's
mais...
bizarre, but I can understand it. Remember what they say. The job makes the man.
Mais 9 sur 20, ça veut dire que c'est, surtout venant de jeuxvideo.com, ça veut dire que c'est très mauvais. Les temps de chargement sont pas insupportables non plus. Tu vois, regarde là-haut, il y a une tache.
Do you feel that, Zach?
Ou c'est une plante.
Dozens of paintings no one will ever see. The faint scent of tobacco baked into these walls for over a century. Now that's what I call a hotel. Zach, can you see him? His fashion sense is beyond me, but he appears to be a gentleman. Perhaps we should talk to him.
Les reflets dans le tableau sont cool.
Did you buy it here?
It's been a long time since someone spoke to me. No one these days ever tries to see me.
They can see what's far in the distance, but are blind to what's in front of them. No. Maybe they're only pretending not to see. That's what civilized society does to people.
Exactly. Ever since mankind got their hands on civilization, they zoomed away at a frightening speed.
Zoomed away from what?
Don't be a fool. You know the answer. As for me, just call me Hunga.
Hunga. Title given to a leader in a certain religion. Is that what you are?
Do you comprehend the oracle?
The oracle.
Est-ce que c'est lui qui va m'apprendre à lire dans le café?
Put on your religion hat, Zach. Here we go.
Felton maidens, in the shrine of hunger, find the flying serpent in the ambiguous zero. Dance with the flying serpent, and you will glimpse the other world.
10 maidens and an ambiguous zero. Got it. But what do you mean by other world?
Follow the oracle.
C'était stylé.
Zach, did you hear all that? Looks like we've already taken our first step into chaos. But such is our duty. We need to accept the chaos, let it inside, then carefully dismantle piece by piece. And after we've put all the pieces back into their rightful places, the truth will reveal itself. Let's capture the truth and present it with a shiny pair of silver bracelets, Zach.
Tiens, d'ailleurs, Hop, alors la carte, elle était où? Il y a le téléphone là-bas. Le téléphone, c'est pour sauvegarder, je parie. Points de sauvegarde. Les points de sauvegarde prennent généralement la forme de téléphone. On va aller consulter la carte et on va sauvegarder. Et on va arrêter là. Il est déjà 2h du matin.
Zach, this is Lucare. I think I'm finally starting to understand what our concierge was trying to say. You can tell this town was built by a very methodical person. No, wait. Maybe they just didn't care, and that's why it ended up this way. It's just another symbol of mankind's obsession with molding nature to fit our own rules. Zach, what did you think of Hungun's oracle? Despite all the dramatic build-up, it's little more than a childish riddle. Heartwarming, really. Exactly the kind of feeling one gets from the good old...
Voilà.
Now let's start by tracking down those 10 maidens. The oracle gave us a place and an act. We need to go to the Shrine of Hunger and fell 10 maidens. Now where in this town can one satiate their hunger? The hotel and where? And the 10 things that need to be knocked down. Simple, right? The answer is bowling. The shape of the bowling pin was based on the feminine form. The 10 maidens are the 10 pins. But a place where someone can both eat and bowl at the same time. I'm skeptical as to whether we'll be able to find such a place in a backwoods town like this. Alexis's Diner and Lane. This is it, Zach. There are even pins and a bowling ball on the sign. I bet we'll be able to eat some Cajun cuisine and bowl there. Maybe even both at the same time. Nice job, Zach. I knew you'd be able to find it. Now for the other oracle. There's no flying serpent on this map. Could it be a contrail or perhaps a dragon? I'm sure we'll find out later. First, let's just figure out where we need to go. Do you know what the ambiguous 0 represents? 0 is usually treated as a base number, but under what conditions would a base number be ambiguous? The answer is temperature, Zach. Yes. 0 degrees Fahrenheit is minus 17.7 degrees Celsius, and 0 degrees Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. You'd be hard-pressed to find a more ambiguous 0 than that. The question is, does our 0 refer to Celsius or Fahrenheit? Let's think for a moment. We're in Louisiana. Which measurement system do we use here in America?
Le Fahrenheit.
The Clarkson Food Delivery Services Cold Storage Warehouse. That's got to be it. Even with this blazing sun in the sky, they can easily keep the temperature below freezing. Be honest now, Zach. You knew the answer from the very start, didn't you?
Voilà, ça c'est intelligent. C'est intelligent comme façon de poser les énigmes et de vouloir les résoudre.
His oracles may end up determining how much time we spend in this town.
Voilà, voilà, vous avez vu, la cicatrice, elle s'arrête au niveau de l'arcade. Et là, décryptage.
Boss, but this is a smoke-free hotel. If you're dying of smoke, head out the entrance and you'll find a smoking area in the rear parking lot.
Don't tell me. You're the
At
bellboy.
your service, boss.
Are you good friends with the concierge and the chef?
We work at the same place, yeah. But, I can't really say whether we're good friends with each other. We're all professionals, though. Nothing more, nothing less.
I believe we've struck gold here, Zach. It just screams deep south, actually. No, it doesn't. This is all his charm. So, if I want to smoke, I should go out the entrance and around to the rear parking lot?
Bada bing, bada boom.
Okay. I'll play by your rules.
Voilà, donc je vais avoir 2 lieux à visiter lors de notre prochaine session. Ouais, franchement, je me suis éclaté. Ah, il y a une sauvegarde auto. Voilà. Bon, bah, on va s'arrêter là et on reprendra demain soir de ce fait-là. J'ai vraiment très hâte de faire la suite de ce jeu. Deadly Premonition était vraiment un jeu, malgré ses bugs, qui m'a beaucoup marqué. Donc j'ai vraiment hâte de continuer de découvrir les tenants et les aboutissants de cette aventure. Sur ce, merci d'avoir regardé ce stream. On se dit donc à demain, bah, finalement maintenant à ce soir. Hein. Et sur ce, je vous souhaite une agréable nuit. Ciao, à plus!